If you want to attend any ASIC verification engineer interview, so first they will ask you about the digital concepts, and then they will check your Verilog concepts, means hardware programming language. Then they will check your system Verilog concepts, and then they will check your UVM concepts. All this they will try to assess. So based on the cumulative feedback only, they will consider you for the role. So that's how it is. And if you are an experienced candidate, they will look for any projects you have worked. So in that particular project, for example, they are interested more in coverage now. So in that particular project, if you have worked on coverage, they will focus the questions on coverage. So then they will understand if you work practically, if you have really put your efforts to develop that, so definitely you will be having the basic knowledge and even the some advanced knowledge of the particular project related things. So the main focus will be that way. So if seeing your resume,
Ma'am,
hmm,
ma'am, as a 4 year experience, let's say I have 4 year experience and I have only worked on functional verification. I have not worked on coverage related stuff. It sounds okay with you? Like how does
functional verification in the sense, can you just give me an insight
so
exactly?
functional verification is that there is an IP, then that IP has a test plan, and according to test plan, generate a test sequence, and then make sure that DUT is basically matching the reference golden
Okay.
vectors
It's more than enough.
uh,
Everyone
for
at
4 years.
the start, everyone doesn't get a chance to work on all the things, right? Everyone doesn't get a chance to work on assertion. Everyone will not get a chance to work on coverage. So there are so many scenarios, but at least what they will expect is you send me your resume, Daman, once. I will let you know what kind of interview you might have if you apply for anything. Okay, and I will guide you for your interview preparation.
Ma'am, what is your email ID?
I will share it with you.
Okay,
You
thank
just ping me in WhatsApp. I will talk with you.
you. Okay.
Yeah. And we have some interview preparation courses as well our side. So I will let you know about it. I will explain you about it. If you are interested, you can take that course as well. Let us see if it is really required for you. Based on, I will do a small assessment. If I feel that we should do it, then we will do it. Okay. Okay, then anyone else have any queries? Okay, fine. So I'm assuming that you don't have any queries. So then I have queries if you guys don't have any queries, okay? So can anyone explain me what is the difference between code coverage and functional coverage?
So now code coverage is like how many lines of the code are covered, and for example, if statements and else statement and different statement. And functional coverage is the DUT has some input and the output pins, and those input and output pins has some. It can take some range of values, and those
Mm-hmm.
range of values are defined as bins in cover point, which is defined inside cover group. And so we basically when we run the scenario, we basically sample it to see which all bins are covered. So that is functional coverage.
Yeah, thank you, Daman.
And functional coverage is it's basically we have to define and sample it, but code coverage is automatically done by the tool. Something like
Correct, correct. Exactly right. And you have given a proper explanation after attending a workshop how you will define that way you have defined, because the same question you had defined in the first day or second day in a very brief way, like in 2 lines, and the same person is explaining in such a detail. I feel good about it. Okay. And then anyone else want to try any questions? Let me know. I will ask them.
and yes, we can have some question and answer round, interview
Yeah,
question and
I
answer
have
round.
planned that today. Let's
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
And functional coverage is like to test the functionality of the like that RTL code. We are writing the test cases. So
Mm-hmm.
if that test case is sufficient to check the whole design or not, that
Yeah.
is only like. it
Yeah.
will cover that 100%.
You are tracking the progress of your verification. So how many test cases you have written? With those test cases, all the functional specifications are covered or not. Those reports you can understand the functional coverage. This is also a good point, right?
And on code coverage, like that it will cover all the functionality of that design or not.
No.
Some
What
functionality.
it's about how well our design has got exercised in the particular.
Like there should be
Yeah.
no redundancy, like no repeated code, right?
No repeated code. If it is statement coverage, all lines are covered or not. And if it is a branch coverage, the set of statements have been covered or not. The set of conditions have been covered or not. And path coverage means sequence of operations have been covered or not. FSM coverage means whether the transition from one particular state to the other state has been covered or not. All this come under the code coverage. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
So
all.
we have to define like that if they
Yeah.
ask in interview.
Yes. So, you can define this way. If you define this way, anyone will understand that, okay, this fellow knows the proper flow of it. And then they will ask you some more in-depth questions. So if you have worked on it, you can say that I have worked on it. Otherwise, if you can say that like I have a workshop with my curiosity. So this much knowledge I have grabbed. So I can do the same. Like this you can tell. So Shiva, can you please mute?
So in functional coverage is like different functionalities of the design, whether they are executed or not, we can check via functional coverage.
Correct. Design specific.
And how much RTL code is how much RTL code is excised by given test suite, we can check using code coverage.
Correct. Yeah. I am feeling so good to hear all the responses from you. Thank you. Okay, then let's start with today's session. So, you have practiced those codes and have you gone through those codes? Do you have any queries with those codes, which we have discussed yesterday? Okay, fine. I felt there is one more way in the cross means any coverage. I have written one code. Okay, I'll show this at the end of the session. Okay, let's go through some of the interview questions. Okay. I will also show one of the industry level protocol coverage. Okay. So how do we write for a protocol? I have taken one example. And tomorrow, if possible, I will cover for other different IPs also. But today I have taken for I2C. If possible, tomorrow we will do that. Before that, let us go through the interview questions. So let's make the session interactive because I have taken the question so that you guys can answer. If I only question, I only answer, that doesn't make sense. Okay. So how many bins are created in the following example for cover point? So based on yesterday's session, you guys can answer this, like how many bins can get created? So that
13.
like to try. Okay, Daman. Anyone is fine. Yeah. Daman, go
Here
ahead.
I don't think so we will get bins because here sampling is not happening.
Oh, actually, assume that it's sampling is happening. There's nothing wrong with this word.
That's a very good catch. Sampling is not happening, so yeah.
Thank you. But just assume that sampling is happening. This
Talking about
just cover
13.
point, I didn't put
So
that.
3. I think 4 for low bins and 9 for medium bins. So total 9 plus 4, 13 bins.
Oh, anyone else? If Raman is right or wrong? Sudha, can you comment on that, whether he is right or not?
No, I am not sure. I'm just checking the code.
Okay. Anyone else? Kiran?
It's 5 bins.
Yeah.
5 bins.
For low 5 bins.
Low bins is automatic. Automatic bins we can take. So each one take 1 bit.
How
One
many
bin.
bins totally you just
Five, 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 five.
for low bins it's 5.
No, no, no. Low bins 4.
Huh.
Med bins is 1, I think. It is static in nature, I think.
Okay.
Bin.
Okay, fine. What about others? Supriya, what do
Oh,
you
yeah,
think?
good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, madam. Hello.
Yeah, tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 13 bins, madam.
Okay. Others? Okay, fine. So low bins, you are right, Daman. It will be 4 bins, 0, 1, 2, and 3. As I told yesterday, when we take the square braces like subscript, in this, if we don't mention any value, so based on the number of possibilities, those many number of bins will get created. Means so now the possibilities are 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? When the range is 3, 0 to 3. So that's why here 4 bins will get created. And if it doesn't mention any subscript like this in the square braces, it means it will consider as only one bin. It will create one bin and it will check within
Yeah.
4 to 12 if any of the value is getting hit. It means this bin will get covered. That's how it will work. Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
segment bin is
Okay,
it is
madam.
also called the range bin.
Yeah, yeah. Range, when we are providing range, so it is called as range, but it's not called as a range bin. But we can provide different ways, right? Here they are providing it as a range. The thing you have to observe here is this square brackets is not there here, right? So that's why the auto bins will not get created. Only one bin will get created. Having said that, if you have something like 5, one more value also here, anything whatever you have here, even then only one bin will get created. So people get
Ma
confused with that sometimes. That's why.
Madam, I mean to
How do you
say,
say it is
the
13?
low.
Can you explain me? In what
Hello, me.
analysis you have told that it is 13 bins? It's you, Shalu, who has unmuted just now. Yeah. How do
Sorry.
you say it is 13 bins?
Yeah, madam. Low bins is 4.
Okay.
Hello. Yeah. So you gave an explanation, and it's okay.
It's okay.
Mid bins,
How did
I counted from 4 to 5. 4. I mean, so I just counted to 4 to 12,
okay, okay.
like that. But I was wrong. But I came to know after you said that based on the hit and misses, we can consider that bin
Yeah.
because of non square bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right, madam?
Yeah, yeah, fine. So
Yeah,
let's go
the
to
way I understand.
uh,
Okay,
okay.
ma'am.
So then
Thank you.
what are the transitions covered by this following cover point?
Six, 3 into 2.
I have the answer is there here. Okay, fine.
Mm.
So the transition bins means we already saw yesterday, right? We can give a range. So A, B, C transition to X and Y. So from A to X, A to Y, then B to X, B to Y, and C to X, C to Y. All these combinations will come. So here, how many bins will get created in that case?
6 bins.
Correct. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. 6 bins.
Okay, fine. So
And
now,
then these bins are
Madam,
explicit, right?
one,
madam,
yeah.
sorry, have a one thing doubt, madam.
Yeah.
This symbol which is between A and X and A and Y,
Uh-huh.
I mean, what does it exactly says? I mean, it's pointing towards the next opposite thing, or does it has any significance operation?
No. Basically, we are trying to indicate here it as a transition. Transition means right? From C, after
Changing,
C,
yeah.
we should get X like that. It's a sequence. So usually in assertions, we call it as an implication operator. In implication also
Okay.
two types differently. But here it's signifying about the transition. So you can consider this as a
Okay.
transition symbol or like that. Okay.
Mean to say we are saying that instead of C, we can take X
No,
like that, ma'am.
it's not like that. Transition in the sense, wait. It's like
Hmm.
after A, for example, we have a clock here, okay,
Hmm.
and then we have a signal A, and then we have
Okay.
we have something called value, okay, signal. So in this
Okay.
value,
Okay.
first at first clock cycle A should come, and the next clock cycle X should come. If this condition is
Hmm.
happening, it means this bin will get hit. Means after A, X should come. It's not like instead of A, X should come. Okay. So the transition itself in the name we say, right? We transition from this to this, like that we say, right?
Madam, sorry, madam, I didn't understand. Please, will you explain again?
Okay. I mean to say, so did you understand this clock cycle? We have some clock here, right? You got
Yes,
it?
ma'am. Yes.
We have a
Yes, ma'am.
variable called for suppose value. Okay. This
Hmm.
value can take A, B, and then C, X, Y. Like this, it can take some values. Okay. So
Okay, okay, ma'am.
at first clock cycle, we got an value called A. Okay. The output of value is A. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Here. And the next clock cycle, the value is X. Okay. So it means,
Okay.
and the next clock cycle, it is something like Y for suppose. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Through this, what you understand is after A, X has come. Okay. So it means that
Hmm.
we have a possibility like A to X has to be hit, right? So this condition will get hit. Okay. And then
Okay.
somewhere in the next clock cycle, we have B here. And then again, we got a value called X here. So if
Okay.
this kind of scenario happen, then this bin will get hit. Okay, that's how it. Now is it
Okay.
clear?
Madam, so yes, madam. I have one more doubt.
Okay.
Sorry, can I ask you? Madam, you said in this case like A2 transition X and B2 transition X as hit cases.
Uh,
Then how come we can say miss case
how
if
can
it
we
is in the miss case? Yes, if it, I mean, this is the particular transition is getting missed. Hello?
see? For example, you have this kind of scenario is there. In that way, if you increase the randomization, the other scenarios also might get covered. This is how you have to understand is what is transition bins mean, what is its signification, and how those things are working. Those things you have to understand. So based on the requirement, nowhere you will get like A to X, A to Y like that. Now, based on your project, you will have some different parameters which you have to understand. But if you
Yes, ma'am.
understand this, based on this, you will understand the complex things. Okay.
Ma'am, is it
Okay.
possible that
Madam, okay.
Yes, Daman, go ahead.
Go.
okay, yeah, Sudha, if you have something, please go ahead. I can wait.
Sorry, can you be little louder?
Yeah, Sudha, please go ahead. I can wait.
Okay. Actually, Shalu. Yeah, go ahead. You were asking something.
Okay, okay. So, sorry, madam. The in case of A2X and B2X is okay. Then how come this A2Y is that this is also will come under hit case?
Yeah, see, in
Okay.
this entire simulation, for example, you have 1,000 units of simulation time, okay? 1,000
Okay.
microseconds. In this entire simulation, anywhere else you can get this kind of scenarios. Whenever this kind of scenario happen, then this bin will get hit. If suppose in the entire simulation, these two bins didn't get hit, it means this scenario didn't come. Then these two bins will be not covered, then it will show.
Madam, here only I got it out. Sorry.
Uh,
Sorry, madam. Please,
sorry, and
don't mind.
just ask your
Okay.
questions quickly. Okay.
Okay.
Then it's right.
Madam, in this hit case, I understood.
Uh,
Then I want to know if at all this is in a miss case, how it is described. How we will come to know this is in a miss case.
it will show
In the
zero,
same the
right?
clock cycles, I want to know it.
It will not show as covered. Yesterday we saw some codes, right? Which things didn't
Hmm.
cover. It showed like it is not covered, and the percentage is zero there. Then you will understand that
Okay.
okay, this scenario is not covered. So then you have to go to the test case. Is there any way you can try to give a stimulus in order to cover this scenario? That's how your analysis will be there.
So covered case, I mean the cover situation, if we get 0, then this is a miss case. You need to again check the test case
Yeah.
in order to get into the cover situation. Yes, ma'am.
Correct.
Thank you, madam. I
Yeah.
got it.
Okay. You were saying something?
Yeah, can we have the same value on both the side, left side also, right side? Let's say ABC and AXY.
Right. Usually,
Yeah,
for example, if it is some state, here it is some value. If it is some state, for suppose, that also makes sense because see, sometimes here, it will
let's say
get.
no state.
For example, we are in the setup phase. Okay, we have APP protocol.
Yes, setup phase, access phase.
Ideal phase we have. There could be a
Yeah.
scenario where in setup phase we have some, for suppose one data is started from setup is done and then we are in the access phase. Okay. In the access phase, the one data is there. The next data also will be there in the access phase only, right? So at that
Yes.
instance, if you try to check the transition from access to access phase, that will hit because there it is in the same state. So that
And so we should cover that transition also, right? In our cover, in our
we need to, we can. Possibility is there.
So it's allowed by system Verilog. We can have same values also on left side and right side of implication operator.
Yes. In transition, don't call it as an implication here. Here you can call it as a transition operator.
Right.
In
It's an assertion.
It is, implication, madam.
Right. Assertion, it is implication.
Okay. Fine. So then we will see what does the following bin try to cover. Actually, we didn't cover this. If anyone can try to guess it, you can.
I think only one bin, maybe.
Yeah.
Madam, that 4 number is repeated for 3 times, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Or else 3 number is repeated.
What about others?
Sorry, madam.
One bin-
3
one
number
bin
is
only.
repeated 4 times.
Okay. Abhishek, you were telling something.
I'm telling one bin only.
One bin. Okay. Yeah. Okay, fine. So actually, Shalu is right. This is a kind of transition bin only, but it is a something called repetition. Like how it works is, for example, we have a clock cycle like this, and it will check at the pause edge. Now it is like 3 value should be repeated 4 times. So this is the value, and this star of 4 is nothing but how many times it has to be repeated. And this star is also called as consecutive. We have the same thing in an assertions also. We can even cover there, but just I'm telling you as the question has come. So here, if consecutive clock cycles means in this entire simulation, the 3 should be repeating at the successive clock cycles. Means here the value is 3, and then here the value is 3, and here the value is 3, and here the value is 3. So this way it works. If it is if it is a consecutive, but this operator is about consecutive repetition operator. There is one more operator where it will check the 3 should be repeated 4 times, but it can be anywhere. Means for example, here it won't be 3, but somewhere here again it will be 3. So what it will do is the entire simulation, the 3 has been reported 4 times or not is what it will check. It will not check like whether it is repeating at the consecutive clock cycles or anywhere else it is, that doesn't care. So that's how it works. But for now, let us focus only on this because here we have got a question. So you see that this means wherever this kind of scenario comes, it means that that particular value should be repeated about the so many number of clock cycles. Okay.
Are these are wildcard?
Which one? No, this is not wildcard. This is a transition bin only, a repetition transition bin. Okay.
The consecutive, right?
Yeah, consecutive.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, this one. How many bins are created by following cross coverage of this?
Well, basically for cross coverage means so 16 bins for sub command and 4 bins for command. So 16 into 4, 64 for cross coverage.
Wow,
64 bins for cross.
Yeah.
And for and for the command cover point only 4 bins. And
Correct.
for the cross one it is 64.
Correct. So everyone understood how he has analyzed this. We are doing cross CMD and sub CMD, right? First we have declared one variable called CMD and then sub CMD, and we have written a coverage group at the rate of POSH clock, and then cover
Ma'am.
point. So here
What
didn't write the sample method. Then we are doing it as some clocking event, right? That's why it's a POSH clock. And then cross of CMD means the first variable, and then the sub CMD means the second variable. So the CMD has how many possible combinations? That is 1 down to 0, right? Means 2 bits basically. 2 bits means
ma'am,
2 part. Just wait, Kiran. Let me complete and then you can ask. Then 2 part.
is it possible for without core point can we perform cross coverage?
Right, I think it is a bug. It is a bug in this code, I guess.
How it is possible, ma'am? Without core point, how can we perform cross?
If you have listen to the class properly in the cross coverage session, I have mentioned that if there is no cover point created for any of the particular variable and we are using it in cross, it may that it will create the cover point for implicitly by itself. It will take it. I will show you.
CMD is implicit, ma'am. What about sub CMD?
Wait, I will tell you. Just wait. I have told in the cross coverage slide also. See, when variable is used without a defined cover point for the variable, a cover point is explicitly covered. So it will be covered by itself. It will create a cover point. The tool will create a cover point by itself. The system Verilog provides the such mechanism. So if the cover point is declared, it's well and good. But if you are using in cross, if it is not declared also, it will work. Okay. I think you guys have forgot that. So now for CMD, we don't have a cover point, but still it will work by using cross. So this 1 down to 0 means 4 and 3 down to 0 means 16 combinations maximum. So multiplying those two, we will get the total number of combinations, that is 64. So total 64 bins will get created for this particular snippet. Okay. Then tell me what can be wrong with this following coverage code. And before that, anyone know what are default bins are?
No.
Okay. Daman, do you know what are default bins?
I think I may be wrong, but default means the remaining ones.
Correct.
The remaining ones which are not yet covered. So like
Correct.
0, 1 are there. So the remaining ones are come under default. I'm just guessing.
Correct. Yes. So now here int is given, right? We have declared the variable through int. It means int by default will have the 32 bit, right? So inside entire 32 bit, we have covered only 0 and 1 here. So the other bins which is there that we are declaring as a default. It means 2 power 32 minus 2. Whatever number of values are there, those all values come under this default bin. Okay. So what can be wrong with the following coverage code? This might be tough for you guys, so let me answer this. So it is like If we have only 2 bins as a low bins, we have declared, and the rest all are given to the default bins, it means while doing the coverage, it might get crash also. Because so many number of bins, we cannot give it to as a default. And the other bins we shouldn't be having very less number of bins. So usually default bins, it is recommended to avoid. Until unless it is very necessary, we don't use. Usually in industry level, and so they will not at all use this default pins, as of my knowledge. So it's better to avoid the default pins, basically. Okay.
Yeah, got it, ma'am. One question, ma'am, regarding the low bin. I'm missing something. Do we need square brackets here in the low bin?
No, it's the curly braces only. If you want to give the range, no, then it will be square braces usually. Anywhere in the constraints also, if you see System Verilog, the constraint will be enclosed within the curly braces, and then the particular range which we are giving, that will be with the square braces.
So I thought like low is having 2 bins, so low should be a vector, so we need curly braces. So okay, I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
Can you please explain default name once again?
Okay.
Default.
Kiran, can you be little louder? What did you ask?
Why? Default, ma'am. Can you please explain again default?
Madam, I have one query. Sorry. Default is it considered as ignore pins?
Let him complete and then I'll get back to you. Just don't interrupt.
Okay.
Yes, Kiran, just tell louder. I didn't get you what you are asking.
Repeat once again default, ma'am. Why we are avoiding default pins? What is the reason behind that?
See, default bins means, as Daman explained, it's like the bins which we have written as a cover point, and the other bins means they won't get covered, right? We are not writing that as a coverage point. So it means that the rest all things are remaining bins are come to default. So we should not use the default, because see, if you see in one bins we have 0 and 1, only 2 values. So now if you write default like this other bins will have as int means 32 bit data. So 32 bit in 32 again, 32 means it has to be checked like 2 power 32 number of combinations, right? So it's writing 2 values in bins low, and 2 power 32 minus 1 will be assigned here. So we should not, that is not a recommended way to do to use default, because so many values getting into one bin, it's not recommended. That's why the tool might get crashed that way, or something. There could be some issues. That's why it is recommended to avoid the default bins. It's better to always take whatever bins we are interested. Otherwise, you can just provide an implicit bin so that it will create the auto bins by itself.
Is it possible in the place of bit int, in the place of int? Shall we take bit?
In place, can you be just
bit name?
Here I'm sorry.
In the place of int.
Int what we want to take?
In the place of int, shall we take bit? Is it possible?
Yeah, you can take anything. There is no rule
At
that
time default bin, how it will work?
It will work, because only bit means only one bit, right? It will be of just one bit. If you are providing bit 31 down to 0, then it will be the same. There is not gonna be any difference. Okay. Basically, guys, let's join the next session, because it's gonna end.
Same link? Using same link?
Same link.
Okay, thank you.